In my last video, we discussed a teacher's decision to allow a student to remain in the classroom after a student called her the B word. Now, the teacher said that she did that because she wanted to be the better person. Well, I want to tell you why, if you were so inclined to allow a student to remain in the classroom after totally disrespecting you to your face, I want to give you 3 reasons why that is a bad idea. Now, certainly, we all have great hearts. We want to help students, and we all understand that sometimes students have a bad day. Sometimes there are circumstances going on at home, but we cannot allow a student to remain in the classroom after they've crossed that line. Immediately, they need to be sent to the principal's office so that an investigation can be done and consequences can be given, period. It's gotta happen. Now, I understand if you don't have to be, let's say you're 4'2", and your voice gets really high when you try to raise your voice. Okay, that's it. You guys go to the office. Okay, you don't have to be someone that you're not, or pretend to be someone that you are not. You don't. All it is just standing firm and standing on what is right. All right, so let me give you these 3 things. Number 1, if a student is allowed to stay in the classroom after they've called you just something terrible, they've crossed the line and disrespected you to your face and used profanity, chaos reigns. At that point, chaos reigns if that student is allowed to stay in your classroom, because now anything can happen. Anything can happen. Students can do anything. If you have a student in your class who is so inclined to make a poor decision every now and then, probably more often than that, that student's going to realize, hey, I can I can do a whole lot more than I've been doing in this classroom, because if he got away with that and he's still in the classroom, the principal may not even find out about it. Parent may not even find out about it. Oh, it's on. It is on. And then you have other students who just want to do the right thing, who want to learn. They're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe the student got away with that. My other teachers would never let that happen. That student would be out of there so fast. And then on the flip side of that, you may have students who they may, in their minds, they may wonder, am I safe here? Am I safe in this classroom? If this teacher allows that student to get away with that and they're still in this classroom, I don't know if I'm safe here. And you never want to be a part of it. You never want to intentionally introduce that element into your classroom where there's just chaos. To allow a student to remain in your classroom after they've disrespected you in such a manner, that is disorderly. You've got chaos in your classroom, and that's up to you to clean it up so that it is orderly. All right, number 2, it's just disruptive to the learning environment. I think back to the Oscars when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Like, I was a principal then, and just immediately I went into principal mode and said, okay, we need to remove this person from the environment. Okay, we need to do an investigation, and then consequences are coming. And so he assaulted Chris Rock, goes back to his seat. The Oscars just go on, and I'm like, okay, they go to commercial break. Surely he's gone. They come back. He's still there. Another commercial break. He's still there. He's still there. And I believe he was the last person to speak on the stage. So that is unbelievable, because during that time, I'm sure other people were thinking the same thing. They were just wondering, okay, eventually I'd say, give it about 5 minutes. They're going to come remove him and take him out. Oh, no, after 5 minutes? No. Maybe they're just waiting for a commercial break. Oh, no, they didn't take him out. You see what I'm saying? People were probably thinking about that, and they weren't thinking about the award show that they were there to watch. So it is with your students. Your students, they understand that's a line you don't cross. You don't cross. And if you do cross that line, you're out of there. And if that doesn't happen, your students are doing the calculations. You're there wondering, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got away with that. Wow. When is the teacher going to send them to the office? When is the teacher going to tell them off? When is the teacher going to ask them to step out in the hallway so they can let him know you don't talk to me that way? Oh, that didn't happen. And so you're going to just get a range of thoughts. They're just trying to process what has happened. Like, why is this student still in this classroom? So you have all these different thoughts about this incident where this student disrespected their teacher. They're processing those thoughts, but they're not focused on the mission. They're not focused on the lesson. It's disruptive. That student has to go. That student has to go. They have to go through that process, investigation, consequences. It just has to happen. Otherwise, it's disruptive to the learning environment. And then lastly, some things they need a swift response in order to be effective. It's almost like I've never done this, but sometimes sometimes students they don't understand the they don't understand the seriousness until someone uses profanity at them. Now, usually that's like mom, dad, or whatever. They're like, oh, you're serious. Oh, okay, I got it, got you. And I'm not saying that you need to do that, but what I'm saying is a swift response is just as effective. Student crosses line, boom, you're out of here. Student crosses the line, says that to you, you're out of here. Now, again, you don't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not. You don't have to, if you can't raise your voice, you don't have to raise your voice. All you need to do is just physically, in that moment, you need to stand on what is right. And it is not right for a student to call their teacher the B word. And so you need to say, hey, I'm standing up for what is right here. You have crossed the line. You need to go to the office. And that's just the way it needs to be. Because I guarantee you, even the student understands. In their mind, they're like, what did you say to the teacher? Oh my gosh, you know you're in trouble, right? So you might as well just go to the office right now. Oh, the teacher didn't tell you to go to the office? Oh. So, I'm sure the student who did it was just as confused. Like, oh, you're not sending me to the office? Some things require that swift response. And again, you don't have to yell. You don't have to do any of that, but something like that, definitely a swift response is appropriate because the student has crossed the line. And as the architect of your environment, the experience that students have in your classroom, that is your responsibility. And you're teaching students, ultimately, you're teaching them to follow the golden rule. And when a student breaks that, they break that trust, and they go against that in such a way, you just got to respond to it quickly, because it sends the message to the student that no, we've got to correct this, and then it sends the message to the rest of the class that we're going to take care of one another. We're going to treat each other how we want to be treated, and this is a safe environment. Well, that's our video for the day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. And don't forget that teachers are leaders.